We're now joined by a public affairs analyst who is also having a lived experience of the impact of the flooding, Chris Ekiyor. He joins us via Zoom from Abuja. Good to have you join us.
Thank you and good evening.
Just to share my empathy with you, because we understand that your home is also now flooded. But let me ask you, is it something that happens every year? Because a lot of people have this kind of experience every year. It's just been worse off this year. Or this is the first time you're having to deal with this kind of issue of flooding?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the answer will be emphatic no. The first major experience was 2012, and it was as messy, except for the fact that this year's event is one scale higher. The 2012 experience was such that everywhere was devastated. The East-West Road was completely washed off, and all the way from Ughelli to Port Harcourt was not motorable. Homes were destroyed. Fortunately, we were working in the field then, so we were able to intervene with NGOs and all of those. However, this year's flood is predicated on the fact that people had seen what had happened between 2012 and now, and had thought basically that the flood itself must have been reduced. Unfortunately, because in 2018 there was flood, in 2017 there was flood, in 2019 there was flood, and then there was a break. And then in 2021 there was no flood and people thought it was over. Now, 12 was higher, but this is worse. It's like an upscale of what happened in 2012. No part of the LGA affected is spared between Isoko South, Isoko North, Patani local government, Bomadi, part of Brutu in Delta, part of Bayelsa State, Sagbama, and all those axes are all gone. Up to Awoda is gone. Now you go up this way also to Kwale, it's all gone. So this flood is not about people living in water plane. This is as a result of failure on the part of people who are supposed to be responsible for governance, not doing what they ought to do to safeguard community. It's an issue of the River Niger and River Benue being shallow today, and failure to construct holding dams or gate control dams. Over the time, from 2012 to now, a focused government would have found ways and means to deal with the issue that concerns the citizen, because you can really truly not relocate people out of their communities anymore. They've been there hundreds of years, and you can't take them out and put them in a new space. If you even want to do so, which new space will you put them? Who will you dislodge? So what government needs to do is to sit down
and exactly what I was going to ask you, because I understand that if you listen to that report earlier by our reporter, the statement there is that the state is waiting for some sort of funding or allocation from the federal government to do what it needs to do. We also heard that from I think it was the Kogi State governor as well, who says, look, the government is also within this is responsibility of the federal government. What's your thought on that, and what do you think that states should be doing? Because this is almost like a perennial problem.
Yeah. So this to solve this has to do with a whole sector: the state government, the ecological fund, the Ministry of Environment, the federal government in itself as federal government from its federal budget, NIWA, NIMASA, MPA, all the agencies of the federal government, and including sourcing for international support, because the scope is not just state-based. What states should be doing now is intervention. Unfortunately, the states do not plan. They wait the crisis break up and then they start jumping and throwing their peanuts and distributing little things as in names of palliative. State government should be proactive. The flood, there were warnings by the meteorological agency, so the states should have made plans early enough to prepare people for the shock that is coming in. States don't do anything. Nothing is happening in Delta State. I think Rivers State quickly said they're releasing 1 billion. Bayelsa $500 million. Delta State up on this point, I've not heard anything from the governor. I don't know what Kogi State did, but that's not how to fix it. There must be a holistic dredging from Barrow in Niger State all the way to the Fakados of the estuary, through the Fakados River and River Non, to clear up the River Niger. There must be dredging also from the Adamawa Plains through the Benue Trough to clear up part of the Benue into Lokoja and sweep it down to River Niger. Not only will that improve water flow It will increase the boil of the river to accommodate more water. The banks which they are dredging would elevate and prevent water from overflowing into communities. Sand will be available for economic activity in those impacted communities. Government will create jobs. So I don't know why they are scared of taking this. And they should go ahead and build a control dam.
We will continue to see how the kind of response that government has or government will create towards this, because it's a national problem, it's a national disaster. But again, we empathize with your situation and everyone who is going through this at the moment. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, Chris Ekiyor.
Thank you.